Hello, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone and their families are doing quite well. So today we're going to um, do reading and discussion. Have a general discussion or conversation regarding unveiling my life, a guideline to breaking free and reclaiming my life. So I'm going to read some paragraphs in poor choices and then we will discuss it. For those who had already purchased the book and read it, you guys are also welcome to share your thoughts. All right, so um, let me just let me share this. All right. When it comes to choices is one of the things that we have to deal with as human beings. Um, in most times, some of us, based on our foundation, our upbringing, the type of friends that we interact with, we have a hard time making healthy and good choices. At the same time, we all make mistakes. So we also have to recognize that the fact that we make mistakes and learn to correct it. But there are those who will keep making mistakes over and over and over throughout their whole entire life. And most times, some of them are choosing to do so. And other times, others, they don't know better because they were not taught well or they um, follow bad crowd. All right, I need to wear my glasses. What did I put? Oh, Lord Jesus. I don't know where I put my glasses, but let's do this. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. All right. So, okay. Unveiling My Life, a guideline to breaking free and reclaiming my life. That's the title. You can get your copy at Amazon. Um, in chapter 2, which focus on poor choices, I'm going to start off from paragraph 2. Everything in life is based on choices. The choices people make are often influenced by their past experiences, habits, and upbringing. Some are not able to make decisions. They cannot function without direction from others. I could not make decisions independently when I lived with my relatives. Everything was scripted for me. For instance, my parents called, I was directed on what to say. Fast forward to when I came to America. Initially, I struggled with timidity. I found it very difficult to approach my father. I found him intimidating because of my traumatic experiences with some male relatives. It was my mom who encouraged me to speak with my dad directly. She did not want to be the one advocating for me all the time. In many cases, one cannot fully heal if one does not work through one's bad experiences. This process is so important. It comes with time as well as self acceptance. When it comes to trauma, a lot of time, what happens with some individuals or children or adults, when they have been traumatized or victim of whatsoever, trust me, a lot of people go through the worst thing, and everyone deals with their trauma or bad past experiences differently. We cannot force it upon people how they should react, how they should deal with it, but it's very crucial that parents pay attention with their children growing up, and especially like when they have to live with some relatives because they have to travel or because of work and businesses whatsoever. They need to pay attention with whom they live in their children with and how best they can support their children, getting them counseling, and also being able to allow them to talk about it. One of the uh, one of the certain condition, the problem that I came against, was when I tried to open up my feelings or express myself how I'm feeling or how I felt. You have some family members and some friends who say, "Oh, it's been a while. You have to let it go. Like, um, it's done and over with." Yes, it's done and over with. We cannot go back to our past to change things that had happened with us or things that we experienced as children or as adults. However, because everything that happened yesterday and prior to yesterday, I can never go back. None of us can ever go back to change that. However, we need to pay attention to how whatever took place had affect us emotionally, psychologically, because those are the most difficult ones, to get rid of. Because some people have nightmares of their bad past experiences, poor choices that they made. So it's not okay for a family member, for a friend, for people to tell uh, their family member who has been traumatized that they should forget it, they should forgive and forget, without getting them the necessary counseling and support that they need. Like when you dismiss them each time there is a conversation and something comes up and you dismiss them, it's like you telling them they are not important. Even though you're not saying the word out loud, your action is telling them, is coming off whatever they understand. So they can assume or think that this is how, this is what you're telling them. And you don't want people to assume and have any negative feelings towards you. Um, as family and people, it's important to, oh, give me 1 second. This is Aisha, Ebewakwa. To say Facebook for mo me kwan na mentimi share yi no korakora. Me hu adofo no koraa sɛ Baba Tsunami Hunwa, if you are here and I haven't acknowledged you, forgive me because my screen, everything is dark, you see. I can't, there's nothing down here. Normally, everything, I'm not seeing anything. I can't share, I can't do nothing. So when you come through, share for me, invite friends. So what I was saying, like when your family member, your child, or a friend is going through things and they try to talk about it, do not cut them off. Allow them to talk about it because um, in most cases, healing, part of healing process from whatever, when someone is angry, when someone is upset, someone is frustrated, you know, uh, traumatized, have bad experiences, they want to talk about it. It's okay for them to talk about it. You can give them encouragement, give them comfort. Don't take advantage of them because we do know when it comes to the opposite sex and, they have the other person opening up to them, because they are vulnerable and some people may need hug, just they just need to be held, right? Others they just want to like vent, talk and engage, kind of interact, and very much so like trying to process it, because talking about it at times, some of the things that help, it has definitely helped me, is to get a journal and write uh, how you feeling, or a diary and write, but make sure that you don't leave your diary out in the open or your journal out in the open for anybody to go and pick it up and read your business until you are ready to share. Um, with others. So it's always important, do not disregard one's feeling, how they feeling when they're in a certain mood, or they trying to talk about something that happened to them in the past. Don't cut them off. Don't tell them to forget and forgive, because it's not all right to kind of like have them suppress it, keep it inside. When it comes to that, it becomes a major issue because you are part of the problem. You are the reason why your daughter, your son is still struggling in their adulthood. When they get into relationship or like they get married, they so angry, frustrated, they yelling when they talking to their significant other or their partner or their children, because they did not get all the necessary tools or the skills that they will need to be able to um, talk about things. Effective communication is one of the coping skills that across board, every single person needs to learn how to talk with people, express your feelings, express yourself, being able to identify your strength and your weakness, things, being able to delete what does not benefit you and keep what benefits you, what helps you. Because a lot of times, like, I have dealt with situation or be in situation, whereas someone gets angry, you try to talk with them and they start cursing at you. You have not done nothing to them. You just trying to help calm them down. You trying to talk with them to find out why they screaming, why they are upset, why they angry, to soothe them, to support them, to help them, to assist with whatever they're struggling with. Some men, some women, some children have a habit of using profanity, cursing, being inappropriate. We do have some children, when they get triggered, or adults, when they get triggered, they will start, if you're a female, they will start saying things about your um, vagina, your breast, your facial, um, your facial expression. They will say things that will be hurtful, and vice versa. You know, they will tell you whatever things that will hurt you, make break you, I should say, break you. Words are very powerful. And then you also have some of them who will try to physically touch you, right? Knowing full well, like, boundaries, you do not tolerate with that. But just to get you upset, you also rather they're going to say things and curse at you, um, because they are unhappy, right? It's not okay. That is a form of abuse, and no one should take that. We also have learned that when it comes to bullies, right? Bullies, we can never change bullies. The only thing we have control of, and we can grow from it, is to change our ways, how we react to bullies, how we react to ignorant people, how we react to people who are just unhappy. Misery likes company. So we do have some people, uh, in both gender. It could be a parent, it could be your child, it could be a friend, it could be a stranger on social media, anywhere. When they're not happy, they're going to come and stroll, they will troll on social media, or like if they on the phone with you, or if they having a face-to-face conversation, they will say things that will provoke you or trigger you. There are some people, when you use the word shut up, it's a trigger for them, because they see that that is the most disrespectful word that you can say. And then, in America, like when I first came here, I heard some of my classmates talking in 10th grade, and one of them said something and the other one was like, no, shut up. So when I heard that word, being an African, I look over and my thought was like, okay, let me start moving back because there's going to be a fight. But then nothing was happening, so I have to like do a double take. And when she said, the other girl said shut up, she wasn't disrespecting the other person. No, it was a figure of speech. And this is how sometimes, some people, when they misunderstood you, you say things, they take it out of context, and they just, start have tantrums because they thinking, okay, you talking to them, or like you said that purposely, to get them upset, because that word alone triggers them, right? But none of us walk in the street and tell people, please do not say the word shut up because it's going to trigger me. Nobody would do that, right? Because if you talking like that each time you meet someone, people would think that you're losing your mind. Why is she telling us not to use that word, because a normal person will not walk up to you to come and talk about, don't tell me to shut up, right? But we have many other ways to ask someone to not speak to you, right? But if the person is not speaking to you, and they being too loud, you can say, excuse me, please, can you tone down your voice because it's very loud. My ears are hurting me, or like I can't, I'm having a headache, can you be quiet, please? I mean, or if they talking to you, you let them know, I don't feel like talking, I'm sorry, or I apologize, I'm not ready to talk to anybody because I need to rest my mind. There are so many ways to go about it, right? But some people, even when you tell them nicely that you really don't want to talk, they will still keep talking, right? If you don't necessarily have to be at the spot, this is where some people also struggles. They don't want someone to talk to them. They can remove themselves from the spot and go elsewhere, right? Or leave the room if they don't necessarily have to be there. But some of them will literally sit there and wait for the person to keep talking so they can hit them, right? Or shove them away or throw things at them because they have asked them to be quiet or stop talking and they still talking. So when it comes down to it, there are some instances and situations as to whether or not you started it or they started it. It don't matter who started the matter, who started the situation. Your response can also get you in trouble. So, like, we need to educate ourselves, our children. If someone provokes you, or someone try to provoke you, or someone is picking on you, someone say things to trigger you, you have adults around you, because every child does not live by themselves. They live with adults, right? When you go to school, there are staff all around. Don't get me wrong. We do also have some adults and staff um, in workplace, schools, so many other places who have anger management problem. They have poor characteristic also. So when situation comes about, they are incapable of de-escalating the situation. They're going to say things and do things that will probably make things worse than it needs to be. So I can't, I cannot see anyone. So you guys forgive me, please. I don't know why. I do not know why I can't see anyone. Um, so if when you come through, just say hello, so I can say hello back to you. Okay. So okay, where did I leave off? All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see. Okay. So this is where I left off, where and discuss a little bit more. As I was saying, it is also difficult when the people around you disregard your feelings and emotions by telling you to forget your trauma. You know, that's a no. Don't tell nobody to forget about their trauma. Like, they have to work through it. It makes you wonder how a person can heal properly when others dismiss or invalidate their feelings. I asked this question frequently as a teenager growing up. In effect, you are asking them to suppress their feelings, right? I had internal struggles. When you ask people to suppress their feelings, they will have internal struggles. And as time goes on, you're going to see them acting out more than talking about it. Don't wait till they start acting out before you go and say, "Oh my goodness, what is wrong? Do you want to talk about it?" This is how most of us are. When the person wants to talk about it, you don't want to hear it. The only time you are able to pay them attention is for them to start acting out. Most human nature. Why can't we give ourselves time, give our loved one some quality time in discussing situations, issues, problems to prevent any crisis? But what most of us do, we wait till things get out of hand or things are not all well before we try to do something about it. But then it might be too late. So we don't want that to make it a habit. So I made some poor choices during my 20s and 30s due to my insecurity. Oh my gosh, insecurity is one of the coping skills that a lot of people, both genders, have, especially when it comes to relationships and marriages. A lot of men, a lot of women have are insecure. They will get into petty arguments, make a big deal out of small things, distance themselves, isolate themselves, accuse others, misinterpret things that their partner or a family member or someone they closer to will say to them. Insecurity is like it's one of the um, coping skills that everyone needs to work on. Whoever have problems with that insecurity, build yourself up, have self assurance, be receptive to the person that you are. Learn to have effective communication. Learn to build your confidence because sometimes you have some women being mistreated or some men being used and mistreated because of insecurity. They get jealous easily. Um, they accuse their partner of doing things that they're not doing because if it was them, they would likely do that. So insecurity is something that is a no. Work on it. Okay. I made some poor choices during, okay, let me go back. Where is it? Okay. I spent over a decade trying my hardest to buy love when I started dating. I will elaborate on this later in this chapter. I did not see myself as a beautiful young woman. I had been taught to believe that I was unimportant and not valuable by some family members. So I was more devoted to pleasing others over my own needs. In deep despair, I fell into hopelessness. This is one of the areas that we do have some people struggle with. I struggle with that in my 20s because when I live with some family members in my teenage years, that's the things that was told to me. Because if something is happening with me and I open my mouth to uh, talk about it or to try to get help, I was told to keep it in, to suppress it. I even got threatened by a grown adult, who I was left to care for me. So, how do you, as a child, children, a lot of children go through maltreatment. They are traumatized because some of the adults around them do not know how to take care of them, how to support them. And most times they just disregard their feelings. It's like children don't have to, we all have feelings. And when you live with someone and those people do not pay you any mind, the only time that you feel that people see you is when you're being flogged or you being yelled at because you are used to things like that type of abuse, right? And then when you grow up, people are expecting you, without getting counseling, without being allowed to express yourself. People are expecting you to be a loving person. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything is in your head. Pray to God. Um, go to church. There are some steps needs to be taken to help your loved ones, your child, your children heal, or yourself heal from trauma, right? So just make note of that. Um, and when you fall into, like, hopelessness, it's like nothing. You just give up on everything. You don't have any hope. Nobody's there to support you. The only time, like, music was something. I love music, all type of music, but my my favorite um is Kodainchi, as always. But I do love all type of music because music is soothing. It's a good sensory for the mind, body, and soul. I love singing. I love listening to uh, songs. I love going for walk, um, jogging. Of lately, I haven't been doing jogging, but that's something that I used to do also. Um, Now I'm into exercise, daily exercise, which is also helpful. Being able to call friends, talk to friends, and family members, check on them checking on me. It makes me feel good, right? So, music was something that I utilized from my teenage years uh, up to current. I still have not stopped. Sometimes I would just put on music and just dance. Any dance is a dance. You can jump around, clap your hands, do whatever. As long as you happy. So, um, moving on, we're talking about poor choices, all right, from my book, Unveiling My Life, a guideline to claim, breaking free and reclaiming my life. And you can get a copy from Amazon. Ironically, my finest moments during those traumatic times were the Sunday evenings when my older sister Ohima and I will sing together until we both start crying. However, that comforting time disappeared once my older sister started dating, because she grew up and I was still a kid, right? So like when you grow up, because my sibling and I, we like 6 years apart. I don't know how my mom and dad planned that, but we are 6 years apart. So once she got older, she couldn't hang with her little sister no more. And she started working. She made more friends and stuff. So it was difficult for me. She also made more friends within her age group. The less time I spend with my older sister, the more our closeness diminished. So, like, we didn't have time spending, quality time spending as my early time, from, I believe, from 10 and a half to 13, um, we were close, very close. I mean, I went to secondary school when I was 12, and when I was 12 and a half, or around 13 years old, I went to. So once I started boarding school, and I'll come back on midterms and vacation time, we did not have the closeness that we had before. Through my siblings, though my siblings and I care for each other, we could not display any affection. This was a product of the environment we were in. All we knew was the constant flogging. My older sister sometimes will smack me when I misbehave. I, in turn, took out my frustration on my baby sister, Crisscross, because, like, when I misbehave or I do something that is not good, my older sister, to discipline me, she will either smack me. Um, so when I get frustrated, whatever was done, I'll do the same thing to my baby sister. But like, I remember, like, my uncle's flogging. Like, one time I went and got a branch, and wanted to use it on my baby sister, but my big sister came and stopped me on that. And then I started hitting my younger sister with my hands, because if I can't um flog her like I'm being flogged by my one of my uncle, then I can do the same thing. So like, what I was used to, that was the same thing I was doing. I mean, I was a child. I didn't know better. hmm So sometimes this type of things happening. We do have some abusers who grows up to become an abuser themselves. Some of them will continue to be victims. Um, some of them will become victimized, even into their adulthood, because that's all they have grown to know. Having no role model as a teenager to teach me acceptable, healthy behaviors impacted my cognitive thinking. Sadly, I cannot justify my aggression towards my baby sister, though I love her unconditionally. I became aggressive towards her probably because of the abuse I had gone through. Aggression towards siblings and acting out are very common with physically and emotionally abused children. The trauma and shock of early childhood abuse often affect how well the survivors learn to control their emotions. Many of the problems frequently lead to extreme outbursts, including anger, temper tantrum, rage. I definitely did develop anger. Anger was one of the things that I struggle with from my teenage years all the way up to my late 30s. Yeah. I have I worked out my anger the past decade, like, but to my late 30s, I had uh, I have anger management issues for over decades, from my teenage years all the way. And it was very difficult because I remember, oh my gosh, there were days that I get so angry, my whole body will heat up. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? I will feel my face will heat up like I want like it was just crazy. But once I started learning other coping skills, especially when I learned how to express myself, how to effectively talk to people, including adults, without them feeling or thinking that I'm being disrespectful. Because, like, uh, I'm open-minded person, and I speak up my mind, very outspoken. Like, when something happens and I do not like, or even when I'm interested in something, I will engage. I will talk to people if needed to. I will share my point of view. Some people may not agree with that, but that is something that is on me, because if you don't talk about things, or discuss things, or share information, or learn. I mean, when you teach, you also have to be an active listener and also learn from other people. Everything is not just about you, it's about you and other people, because I'm not the only one who exists in this earth. There are other people, and I also had to working on my anger management. I also learned to be considerate of other people's feelings. When you say things, how you say it is also very important. You need to be mindful that sometimes a wording that you may use, some people may take it out of context and make their own and blew it up, right? So just be mindful how you say things, how you do things. So I am grateful that my poor behavior did not cause me to become estranged from my siblings. At the time, I did not think I was doing anything wrong, because that's the environment I'm used to. When I do something, or sometimes I don't even do anything. People lied on me, and one of my uncle would just go and get his bamboo switch and flog me senselessly. Mhm. So if I'm being flogged and my baby sister does something and I hit her, and I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I was fully conscious of the pain I inflicted on my younger sister, though. This is because I had been put in those situations countless times. So knowing that me being flogged and beaten, it hurt, right? And I'm doing the same thing to my baby sister. So knowing that it hurts, I was conscious that, that it hurts her, but being I was mad, I didn't know better, but I knew right from wrong. um as I got older, my baby sister and I developed a bond. Like, we are closer. I love my older sister, my younger brother, but my baby sister and I, like, we like this, right? I have good relationship with all my siblings, but she and I are very close. Like, she calls me every single day. I call her every once in a blue moon because she calls me all the time. Hmm. I became her protector when others bullied or pick on her. My emotional connection with my sisters are very strong. Yet we were distant from one another due to our age differences. Over time, we spent less time with each other. The only time we display any love was when one of us was in distress. We would definitely step in and save each other. Living in this toxic and um, torturous home environment influenced my thinking process negatively as a teenager. I built up a lot of anger internally, and every little thing triggered me. I harassed those who dared to pick on me. As a tomboy, I feared none of my peers. I will fight you no matter what size you were. I didn't care if you were a boy, a girl, like I was getting into physical fight when I was younger. It didn't matter. I believe I stopped fighting when I came to US. I didn't know people that well, so I wasn't going to get myself in trouble. But living with some of my uncles, some of my cousins, and some neighbors, if they come and try to bully me or pick on me, or if I see anyone picking on my younger sister or try to beat up my younger sister, I would definitely step in and fight you. It didn't matter who you were, I would do that. Aside from the anger management problems, I became timid due to the maltreatment I received. I started making stupid decisions by physically fighting with two vindictive nieces and some neighbors. I was a strong young woman and still am, of course. Bring it here. But I don't solve problems with physical fight or aggression. I solve problem by talking through it. If I feel that is bigger than myself, is if it's work related, of course I have a supervisor. If it's a family matter, I have my parents, I have uncles, some uncles who live abroad. Those I never had any problem with them. The ones that I had problem with was one particular one who is no more now. So I said I'm still yeah, so I don't fight. Like, when there's a misunderstanding, a situation, I rather, have a discussion about it. I also like to have mediation. So let's just say I have an issue with my older sister, I will get a neutral person, um, either my dad's older brother or like my baby sister's husband, um, or like a family friend to come and have a mediation. I can't have my parents if it's between me and my sisters or between me and my brothers. There are certain people, like you have to remove certain people out of it because some of them might be biased. So when there's a situation, you always have to have a neutral person to help resolve the matter. So for me, I'm a very fair person, and I learned all these coping skills. I learned these tools when I was able to develop, effective communication, active listening, patient, being proactive, loving myself, caring, and everything that you possess, it's easier for you to transfer that onto others, because I don't like for people to get close to me and hurt my feelings for no reason. If I do something wrong and you are one of those people who is closer to me, or even someone who watches my program and I say something that you don't like, feel free to also share your opinion. The one thing that we don't do here is insult and disrespect, but you can speak up your mind. You can share your opinion in a productive or constructive way. Because one thing that I also learned when I work on my anger management is that you cannot solve a problem with insult, disrespect, or violence, because nothing is going to be worked out. You know, when you talk to someone in a productive, constructive way, when you have a dialogue, you have the person feel important, they will be more inclined to listen to what you have to say. However, if you yelling, screaming, cursing, kicking, throwing objects, slapping, hitting, pulling, nobody's gonna hear you, because it becomes a safety concern. You know, people will move away from you. They will run away from you because it's not safe to be around you. That's why it's important for people to learn effective communication. So I have disliked bullies from my childhood even up to now. They are weak, coward, and liars. That's how I see bullies. Because if they have something productive, something better to do, if they value themselves and other people, it don't matter what you're going through. Because sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I only said it because I was mad." What does you being mad has to do with me or the other person? What does you not being happy in your household, or you not being happy with the person that you with, has to do with your children and people outside your marital home, for you to go and start screaming, cursing, and disrespecting them? What does you being mad has to do with you picking someone's comment and start cursing at that person? What does that have to do with us? We each have problems. Okay, deal with your problem. However, Sister Sage Williams, maybe Wakwaba, they say, I don't see nobody. Like, you see, I'm here, but nothing is popping up. So, like, most times, you have people, they give excuses, reasons, blaming other people for their behavior. Like, when you are children, needs to be taught better coping skills. If you growing up, you were not taught certain coping skills, who is stopping you, or what is stopping you as an adult? Because some of the coping skills that I learned to manage my anger, to not get angry over petty stuff or things, I have to learn that on my own. And also, uh, the field of work that I do, because I deal with lots of people. I'm always around people. So, like, a job I used to do in 2023, like 5 years ago, every year we do TCI training. and sanctuary model. And the tools that they have in TCI training is incredible. Sanctuary model is incredible. Now, TCI, that's initial for therapeutic crisis intervention. Is mostly used in a residential setting, whereas you deal with different individuals with different behavior, different disabilities. So you have to find an effective way to support them, because some of them, noise alone triggers them, bright lights triggers them. Some of them, taking a shower is a trigger, so like every single thing. And as I said earlier, some of them, just hearing the S word, the word shut up, will trigger them. So it is a whole lot, but they train staff every year. You have to take a written test, and also practice on you have to practice on the physical restraint. Uh, you also going to be tested on the physical restraint. As a matter of fact, my younger brother, Nanaya Samuel, he is a TCI trainer. So one of these days, I'm going to have him come, and we're gonna talk about it. He can share some of his views on that, and probably give some insight and training to us. Okay, so the therapeutic crisis intervention, known as TCI, training program for children and youth care staff, present a crisis prevention and intervention model designed to teach staff how to help children learn constructive ways to handle crisis. And if you want to talk more, if you want to learn more about TCI, you can go to www.safeguards-training.net. You can learn more about TCC training. Mhm. And then sanctuary model, like when you work in a place, that teaches you um, like tools, preventive tools, how to address situation. And the work that I do now on a yearly basis, you also have to do training, whereas you watch videos, and then you take tests in regards to what you were taught, and then we discuss it on a twice a month, uh, at a webinar, so from the training department. So they constantly have you, like, providing you information, necessary information, how to do go about things, be able to support individuals with disability, and parents who have disability children, services that will provide for them. And then the sanctuary model. So what is it? Okay, sanctuary model is a trauma informed, evidence supported template for system change based on the active creation and maintenance of a non-violent. You see, non-violent, you deal with the situation without having to be violent. Uh-huh. So, like, having a productive community to help people heal from trauma. So, like, this is like, it addresses the marginalization of specific culture group through exposure to trauma, because you do have some culture, like especially all the Ghanaians, Ghana for a mu hwɛ any mumu bi no to say munim see a society no discipline. When you say discipline, now the only thing that pops in your head is being flogged or beaten. Mm? Obi wɔ hɔnom koraa na awofo discipline wɔnnidi awia, they will not get lunch. That's part of the punishment. How does a parent go to that extreme to deprive you of food because you made a poor choices, or they tell you you did something wrong, even though you know right from wrong? We make mistake. I mean, how does that teaches me as a child to learn from it by depriving me of food or depriving you of food? This is some of the things, corporate punishment that some African parents, results to. That's abuse, neglect. But some people will not agree on that because they think it's perfect. It's so perfect. To learn more about sanctuary model, you can go to www.nctsn.org to learn more about it. So they have 4 pillars of sanctuary model. They have the trauma theory, the self framework, the 7 commitments, and the sanctuary tools. Okay. Okay, so for the self model, right? The S stands for safety, physical, psychological, social, moral safety for all members of the community is a primary value for the organization. And then the E stands for emotional management, right? Members of the community recognize and manage feelings in non-harmful ways, right? Treatment and supervision practice, including conversation about emotional management, behavior management practice, are strength-based. There is a mechanism in place to identify, discuss, and correct drift from these strength-based practices towards coerce. So, and then you have loss. This is based on the sanctuary model self. The S stand for safety, the E stand for emotional management, the L stand for loss, right? Acknowledging and grieving loss, trauma, and using the past to constructively inform decision about present and future issues. Decision making includes the impact of loss, daily losses, community member use the path. Like, there is so much that you can learn from it. The last is the F, which is future, because you cannot start working on things to go backwards. You have to move forward, right? How do you work through it and then, be able to do better than yesterday, right? So future is creating and restoring a sense of hope in our clients and our community. Mhm. Discussion of future occurrence in conversation with staff at higher end clients at entrance into the program. Both staff and clients are routinely encouraged to think about, plan, and implement a different immediate short term and long term goals for the future. So that's part of the century model, and that's like the second part. So I believe I gave the website so you can go and learn more about it. So let me do, excuse me, let me do promo. Let me do promo. I should have worn my glasses. Now my eyes feels tired. Okay. So on Fridays I do English version. I come live on Fridays for life issues. Abrabo Nsem, I normally, most of the time, is open conversation, open talk, freestyle. So we talk about anything. When you come on, you have something pressing or a question, don't hesitate to ask. Over here, we come to learn and also um, teach each other. Mhm. Learning is a healthy tool. Is good for us to learn. The only time we shouldn't learn is when you are no longer living on this earth. So I come 5:30 US Eastern time, so that will be 10:30 Ghana time, and then Saturday afternoon 3:30 US Eastern time, 8:30 Ghana time. I come live with Osofo Samuel Okoso in marriage lesson, but sometimes we talk about general topic. Every once in a while, we talk about marriage. We kind of limit it to that. And then, if anyone have topics and have questions during the live broadcasting, even with the pre-recording, if you have questions, you can definitely come and ask questions. Today, as I said, reading and discussion, and reading from my book, Unveiling My Life, a guideline to breaking free and reclaiming my life. And you can get a copy at Amazon. I know some of you had already purchased it. Thank you very much and read it. Some of you are not done reading it. As I said, once you purchase, give me a healthy review. And also, let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, thank you. So we also have some of our friends, our sisters and brothers who also, you know, um, does have does other things, that are beneficial. Some of them do educative programs. Also, others don't do they don't do life programs, but they have their own businesses, whereas we can also support them. So we have Sister Aisha Ankra. Sister Aisha Ankra is someone who uh, does a lot for her community. She does volunteer work. She share information, provide resources to parents, who have children with disability. Because when it comes to our Ghanaian community, a lot of them, some of them, they feel embarrassed. There's nothing for you to feel embarrassed about when your child has some type of disability, because most of the disability scientists and studies don't even know how the cause of it, especially all spectrum autistic disorder. They don't know. It can be environmental, so it can be anything. But she share information, all the adequate information that she has, and she also share her experience with her son Malcolm. When you go to her page, you know, she share pictures when he's going to school, traveling, and it's, you know, amazing. The bond that she and her son have is just incredible, and it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job for her. My sister Aisha does sell Juice Plus natural supplement. You can call her wherever you are, all over the world. You can purchase uh, the supplement some from her. You can let her know if you want the family package or you want the omega alone or the berry. She will be able to assist you. DM her. She also sell kitchen ware, which is pot, you know, new pots. If you have a pot that when you're trying to make rice or like jollof rice or wachi or stew and it's always burning, it means that it's time for you to throw that pot away and get a new one. She also sell plateware, the set. You know, if your plate has like stain in it and you need new plates, you know, you can call Sister Aisha. If the amount that you paying is more than uh, well, if the amount that you paying for shipment is more than how much you buying for the product, she will let you know it's not worth it. You know, that's how honest she is and kind. And then she also sell Avon products, but for the Avon products, you have to live in UK. If you live outside UK, you will not be able to purchase any of that, uh, the Avon products from her. And then we have our sister Belinda Ejari. Sister Abrofo, American for kind of Ejari. But Ghana for Becca Belinda Ejari. Yes. If you come to, you live in New York, in the Bronx, or even live in New Jersey, Connecticut, Virginia, you come to New York, you know, make sure you stop by the Bronx. You know, some people be like, oh, the Bronx is like, you know, people live in the Bronx, they didn't. Please don't listen to what people say, eh? Don't. Just come. uh, Go to B&B African Caribbean Market located at 1163 Boston Road, Bronx, New York 10456. You know, to get the best African food to support our sister, because I've been there and she has, you know, fresh food. And I love every single bit of products that I have, you know, food that I have gone there to get. So let's support our sister very much. And then we have Sister Sage Williams. Sister Sage. So go to sageshare.com to get some of her authentic merchandise, you know, uh boutique clothing. Yes, go and get yours. She has t-shirts, dresses, one size fits all. um that's 85%. And then the 15%, you have to be a particular size, you know, you need 32 waist. So if you 33, my sister, you won't be able to get into that dress. But um the one size fit all is a lot more. She sell cream, jewelries, beads, cream has shea butter in it. Anything with shea butter, is a must. My kids, myself, Kay, we uses it. We use the cream, and it's really nice. It suits, it smooth your skin very nicely. The accessories, duku, which is scarf, uh, handbag, and other things. Go to the website sageshare.com. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna love it. Decent prices also. The t-shirt, some of you have seen me wear the t-shirt, do program, doing my exercise and stuff. Like, I love it because some of them I have had it for over a year. I wash it multiple times. The neck stays as it is. It does not stretches out. It doesn't change shape. Um, if you go in the website and you see the design that you like, but you don't see the color of shirt that you want, you desire, please don't leave. Just order it. There's a comment box over there. You can let Sister Sage know what color you're looking for, the design you already picked. Just tell her the color. Your email is a must. Your phone number is optional. Once you send your order, she's going to reach out to you to confirm the order before she sends it. And when she sends the package, she's going to let you know that she has sent it, when you're going to be receiving it. She will send you the tracking number, but even though she sent the tracking number, she still tracks it. Her customer service is fantastical. Like, I love it. I love it. So, Sage, thank you. And then we have our sister Awumre Kua lunchtime talk. Go to her page, watch some of her pre-recorded video. She does live videos also. She does counseling, marriage counseling, other counseling. If you need more information, DM Sister Awumbrekwa. Okay, go to lunchtime talk, send her, DM her on that, and she will get back to you. Definitely. We have Sister Sika Educate. She also does a lot of educational programs. She used some of her personal experiences on that also, to support, to kind of like educate herself and other people, those who wants to learn, most certainly. And then we have our sister um, Nana Araba. Yes, our sister Nana Araba, she works with Challenge Enterprises of Ghana as a digital marketing officer. Their website is www.challengebookshop.com. You go over there, anything, everything you're looking for, if, whatever comes in your mind, you type it in. If you don't find that particular book, you will find something related to it. She also does, advertising book. Oh, Sister Sage, one time, our sister Obapa Nanaraba had asked, like, if you would like for her to do advertising video for your website for you. So you can send her a message. I think when she had asked, because I was going off, I think you were no longer on it. So I'm not sure if you got back with her or you saw her comment. So she also does advertisement videos. I'm gonna show a couple of her advertising video. I love them. Let me see. She did one for Sister Ya for that to brand myself, and our sister Ya Boatima, Boatin Russell. So that video is for all three of us. So she advertised our books for us. So I use her video to help me be able to like cut my advertisement, acknowledgement shot. And then you guys go to Ayeyi's page and follow her. Oh, Sister Belinda, what is saying? And then the more fan me because me who be so person no one true be I will not know you there. Telling, like, I can see myself, but I'm not seeing any writing. I can't even share. I don't know. Meaning, say, amanfobi. Amanfobi. Yes, it. Nipa bi mpɛ w'asɛm a na nipa bi mpɛ w'asɛm. Ɛsɛ ekura mpo deɛ minhu hwee. Like, I can't see nothing. You see, I can't see nothing at all. That's crazy. Let me see. Okay, so as I'm doing that, let me share this. Hold on. My eyes are itchy. I need my glasses. Nana Kwesi. Nana, check on the dresser to see if I left my glasses there. I think I left my glasses there. My eyes is like itching me right now. Oh, I did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Much better. Okay. And then we have this is Saya for the Atobra. Saya for the Atobra. As I'm doing that, I will go and bring the video. Saya for the Atobra will, hey, she's chillaxing. She's chilling, spending time with family. Holiday season is coming, in terms of like the t-shirt, dresses from Sister Sage Williams page, website, sages.com. I mean, if you have a loved one, you want to surprise them, you can get those, boutique clothing, authentic merchandises, anything for your loved ones and friends. And then if you have nieces, nephews, and partners, friends, people who love to read, go to Amazon. You can get any of Sister Ya for that Atobra's book, my book, Sister Ya Boatma, Boatin Russell's book. So you go to Amazon, you type in our names, the books should be popping up for you. Very much so. So don't hesitate. Christmas time is giving time, right? Okay, hold on. So by next year, early next year, Sister Ya will resume her every other Saturday program. She comes live at 11 a.m. MSC time and 1 p.m. EST time with her co-host Sister Ya Boatin Russell. And then her Facebook page is Auntie Ya's Book Corner, and her YouTube page is Auntie Ya's book channel. Go and subscribe it, like her page, follow her page. And when she comes live, if you have read any of her books, give her healthy reviews is very important. And then you can also tune in the live programs, ask questions if you have anything pressing, or like you have some insight of her book, you can definitely do that. She also have a coaching and book publishing services, which is Auntie Ya's Own It Academy. In fact, she was my coach. She was she supported me, pushed me throughout from beginning to an end. Once she assisted in publishing the book and making sure everything is in place, then services is over. But she walks you through from beginning to an end. She doesn't leave you in the midst of it. So trust me, if you are thinking of writing a book, a memoir, or whatsoever, I would recommend her for you. Okay, so let me go to here. Oh, let me share. Setting. No, that's the wrong one. Present. Share screen. So Sister Ya has written 5 books. Her first book is an inspirational book, reflection of my thirsty soul. Wait, why can I pull this up? Reflection of my thirsty soul. And her second book is my personal favorite. It's my personal favorite. The beauty, but I love all her books. The beauty of a woman's heart. The third book is Reflection of My Weary Soul. It's a devotional book. And then the fourth book is a #1 bestseller at Amazon, On It, a guideline to taking responsibility and accountability. And then her fifth book is My Unapologetic Self. So you can get all her books at Amazon. I downloaded this on my laptop, but I can't see when you go to challenges, when you go to challenges, bookshop.com, this has some of the books that you should be able to see. Let me bring this up. This has some of the books that you'll be able to see on that website. So to support our sister Nana Araba. So definitely go and purchase some of the books, to support her. So I'm trying to bring out the video, the advertising video she did for Sister Ya, the 2 Yas, incredible Yas, and myself. And then this is Ayeyi. So,
So all my thanks and praise, minimum one. It's changing my life, it's giving me victory. When I'm in joy, you come and set me free. So I give you thanks and praise.
I just
I serve a living God, I serve a mighty God, I want to help you see. So all my thanks and praise, minimum one. It's changing my life, it's giving me When I'm in joy, you come and set me free. So I give you thanks and praise.
So that's Ayeyi for you guys. She's incredible. I just love her. Okay.
Have you heard of Yafoda Atobra? She's an Amazon best-selling author and has 5 books to her credit. She's the CEO of the Own It Academy, a book coach. Among the people she has coached is Ajua Odo Mensah Sasu of the Ajua Odo Talk Show, a Facebook live show. She has written a book which goes beyond the memoir titled Unveiling My Life, a guide to breaking free and reclaiming my life.
Right.
Ya Boatima Boatin Russell, who has written Echoes of Ya BBR's Chronicles, an overview of self-discovery and building bonds. Why don't you contact Ya Foda Atobra today and get that book going?
That's right. Thank you, Obapa Nanaraba. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then one more advertisement video from our sister. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hold on. It just came off. I'm trying to go back and oh Lord Jesus Christ. Sorry guys. Just give me 1 second. We gotta stop saying, oh, our culture this, our culture that. Hey, parents, we have to allow our children to express themselves, because if we don't teach them how to talk about whatever is bothering them, oh my gosh, I cannot even imagine how things are going to be 10 years from now, or maybe I'm too far out, 2 to 5 years from now. There's going to be a lot of craziness happening. I mean, like, it's always important to be able to learn to manage ourselves, talk through things, have people understand you, and have people understand each other. It's crazy. Okay. Oh, now I see why. I went to another page for Facebook. I don't know how that happened. I didn't know I can do magic. Okay. I don't know. Like, something is definitely wrong with this. Hmm. I don't know what is going on, but there seems to be something wrong with my page. Uh, I just pull it and it's not coming. Why is it not coming? That's weird. Hmm. It's okay. So it's really like important that we learn better coping skills. So we can't say this is all we know. No, don't settle for less. We have to do better. Change. If you don't have good characteristic, we have to change it. Oh, and also like I think people should just stop talking about, generalizing things when it comes to, because you sometimes you hear some men and some women talking like, when they making a point, they be like, if some Ghanaian men will be like, Ghanaian woman. I beg you, it's not every Ghanaian woman that does the things that most of you complain about. So people should just work on that, stick with some. In every situation, there's no 100%. Some of us have poor characteristic and make poor choices. But it shouldn't be like,
Oil perfumes. No you no me feel good. Mehwe baby for when you are elegant accent. Higher perfumes. What smell to the flowers? What smell to the powder? And also the seminar. Designer papa. Ibotumi nya fragrance bia epe. Nti franye na also smell good within your budget.
Within your budget.
Enuanom na adofo. So ban spray. Oil perfumes. No you no me feel good. Mehwe baby for when you are elegant accent. Higher perfumes. What smell to the flowers? What smell to the powder? And also the seminar. Designer papa. Ibotumi nya fragrance bia epe. Nti franye na also smell good within your budget.
Okay. That's our
Enuanom na adofo. So ban spray.
that's our sister. That's our sister Nana Araba. So DM her if you like to get some of her essence perfume, because everybody likes to smell good. If you if you have poor hygiene, nobody wants to be around you, seriously. So take care of your body, your everything, bad breath, everything. When you smell good, people wants to be close to you, even your partner and everything. Oh, Sister Belinda, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, sure. Much love to you and good evening to you as well. Okay, so today, oh, where is it? Where did it go? So today we came to do reading and discussion. And again, go to Amazon to grab your copy of Unveiling My Life, a guideline to breaking free and reclaiming my life. So where was I? So I ended with the when it comes to bullies, that they are weak, coward, and liars. With time, my choices led to poor outcome. I was starting to drown in my misery. My knowledge of life was very limited. I was not thinking about how my actions will impact me later in my adult life, and it surely did. Up until I work on myself, that's when things start falling in place. Again, coming to join my parents was a bitter sweet reunion. Singing like a bird, I pour out everything I had endured and suppressed to my parents. My fondest memories were of my parents' reaction when I informed them of the treatment we received. They were furious, disappointed, and disgusted. They had worked so hard to ensure their children were cared for. My Uncle Mo was my mother's relative. In the end, the adults involved managed to settle their differences. They felt that we no longer had to endure that pain again. In truth, I was like so angry when my parents, like when they started displaying their anger. I was very happy. I mean, I was a teenager, I was happy, but being an adult now and the things that I have learned and where I am, I understand why they handle it the way that they did. But around the time that I was a teenager, I was not happy at all. I hope my mom will cut ties. I was hoping that my mom will cut ties with my uncle, because I wanted to put a discord between them because of how he treated us. However, that did not happen. They resolved the problem. My mom, you know, um, there were days. There were days I would speak ill of my Uncle Mo and torment myself, recalling all the traumatizing moments. I did this just to get sympathy. I was also hoping that my mother would hate her brother. You see, that was the mentality that I was carrying with being traumatized. Over time, I isolated myself and kept my deep hatred for Uncle Mo to myself. I had nothing good to say about him anytime his name came up in conversation. My mother recognized my withdrawal and repeatedly told me to forgive my uncle transgressions. In my heart, I wanted him to be punished and isolated from the family, but that never happened. Despite being given a second chance, Uncle Mo managed to screw up once again. You know, sometimes, a crab is a crab, a bird is a bird. You can never, like, it's crazy. I didn't even have to lift a finger to do anything. He himself screwed himself. I felt defeated and sad that I could not use my parents to get vengeance on my uncle. My anger kept boiling, and I tried many different things to pity my mother, to pit my mother against her brother. Nothing I did worked. My mother always asked me to forgive it. My mother always asked me to give it to God. Like when it comes to, like, I just don't understand. There are some things when it happens, not you can't just give it to God though to deal with it. But I understand sometimes there's certain things, with time, and let it go. It took me a long time, decades before I let it go. She explained that we always reap what we sow in life, whether good or bad. At the time, I did not get what she meant. In our community, give it to God seems to be a form of enablement. Sadly, there is no accountability for this reason, and people manage to get away with murder. Figure of speech. Yeah, they never pay for what they do. Mm-mm. So, um, I will conclude that it is not advisable or healthy for us to carry emotional or mental baggage alone, especially when we have loved ones to support us. Furthermore, I have learned over the years to voice out to get the help I need. And you need to do the same thing. Voice out, express yourself. Holding our feelings harm and hinders our growth in life. So I'm going to end here for today. By the grace of God, join Sopho Samuel Okoso and myself tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 US Eastern Time, 8:30 Ghana time, uh, to discuss our Nsem or general issues. Sopho normally send me the topic tomorrow, which is a couple hours before we come live. So I will see you guys. You guys have a great weekend, and join me tomorrow. I couldn't share this at all. I couldn't send it out because I couldn't copy it. I don't know what's happening today. It's just crazy. You're so very welcome to Sage Williams. One love to you. Yeah. So you guys stay blessed. All right. Take care of yourself. Bye.